Good morning. Today, we're going to explore a fundamental concept in social psychology known as the theory of cognitive dissonance. This theory, first proposed by Leon Festinger in the late 1950s, posits that individuals experience a state of psychological discomfort or dissonance when they hold two or more cognitions, that is, beliefs, ideas, or values that are psychologically inconsistent with each other. This discomfort can also arise when people perform an action that contradicts their beliefs. Think about it this way: we generally strive for internal consistency. We want our thoughts and actions to align. When they don't, it creates a feeling of unease, a kind of mental tension that we are motivated to reduce. This isn't just a mild annoyance, it can be a powerful driving force in shaping our attitudes and behaviors. Cognitive dissonance manifests in many aspects of our daily lives. Consider someone who smokes cigarettes despite knowing the well-documented health risks. They hold two conflicting cognitions: smoking is bad for my health, and I smoke. This inconsistency creates dissonance. To reduce this discomfort, the individual might employ several strategies. They might try to change their behavior by quitting smoking. Or they might change their belief, perhaps by downplaying the health risks or believing that they are somehow less susceptible to them. Another common strategy is to add new cognitions to justify the behavior, such as smoking helps me relax and cope with stress. Finally, they might minimize the importance of the conflict altogether, thinking life is short, I might as well enjoy it. Another classic example is the phenomenon of justifying effort. Imagine spending a significant amount of time and energy to achieve a goal, only to find that the outcome is not as great as you expected. To reduce the dissonance between the effort invested and the disappointing result, you might convince yourself that the outcome was actually quite valuable after all. This is why, for instance, people who go through a difficult initiation process to join a group often end up valuing their membership in that group more highly than those who joined with little effort. The implications of cognitive dissonance theory extend to various fields. In marketing, advertisers often try to create dissonance in consumers by highlighting the shortcomings of competing products, thus making their own product seem like the better choice and reducing the dissonance a consumer might feel after purchasing it. In social psychology, the theory helps us understand phenomena like attitude change, decision-making, and prejudice. It shows us that our desire for internal consistency can significantly influence how we perceive the world and how we behave within it. Understanding cognitive dissonance provides valuable insights into the complexities of human thought and behavior.
One. What is cognitive dissonance, according to the professor? Two. What motivates individuals experiencing cognitive dissonance? Three. Which of the following is given as an example of cognitive dissonance in everyday life? Four. According to the lecture, what is one strategy people use to reduce cognitive dissonance? Five. What does the professor say about the implications of cognitive dissonance? Six. What is the professor's approach to explaining the theory of cognitive dissonance?
Hi, Miss Evans. Thanks for meeting with me. I'm starting to feel a bit anxious as graduation gets closer.
Hi, David. It's my pleasure. That's a very common feeling for students nearing graduation, so don't worry, you're not alone. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm graduating with a degree in environmental science, which I'm really passionate about. But honestly, I'm just not sure what kind of jobs are actually out there and which ones might be a good fit for me. It feels a bit overwhelming trying to figure out a career path.
I understand completely. Environmental science is a broad field with many different avenues you can pursue. We can definitely explore some of those today. Have you thought about what kind of work environment or specific issues within environmental science interest you the most?
I've considered a few things. I'm interested in conservation and maybe working on policy related to environmental protection. I've also thought about the possibility of working with renewable energy initiatives.
Those are both excellent and growing areas within environmental science. There are opportunities in government agencies at the local, state, and federal levels that focus on environmental regulation and conservation. Nonprofit organizations are also heavily involved in advocacy, research, and on-the-ground conservation efforts. And of course, the private sector is increasingly focused on sustainability, creating roles in companies that are developing and implementing environmentally friendly practices and technologies.
I hadn't really thought much about the private sector. I guess I was mostly focused on government and nonprofits.
That's understandable, but don't overlook the private sector. Many companies now have sustainability officers and are looking for environmental scientists to help them reduce their impact and comply with regulations.
That's good to know. What steps would you recommend I take to figure out which of these paths might be right for me?
One of the most valuable things you can do is gain practical experience through internships. Have you completed any internships during your studies?
I did one summer with a local conservation group, which I enjoyed.
That's great. Building on that experience is key. Networking is also crucial. Attend industry events, connect with professionals on LinkedIn, and reach out to alumni working in fields that interest you. Informational interviews can be incredibly helpful, where you talk to someone in a specific role to learn about their day-to-day work and career path.
That sounds useful. I'm not sure where to even start with networking.
Our Career Services Office has resources to help you with that. We offer workshops on resume writing, interview skills, and also networking strategies. We can help you identify potential contacts and even practice your networking approach. Don't hesitate to take advantage of these resources.
I definitely will. This has already given me a lot to think about.
Good. Remember, exploring different paths is part of the process. It's okay if you don't have all the answers right now. Why don't you take some time to research the different sectors we discussed, and maybe look into some informational interviews? Then, if you have more specific questions or want to discuss your findings, feel free to schedule a follow-up appointment with me. We can delve deeper into specific job roles and strategies for your job search.
That would be great, Miss Evans. Thank you so much for your help. I feel much less overwhelmed now.
You're very welcome, David. That's what I'm here for. Just reach out when you're ready for that next step. Good luck.
1. What is the main reason for David's meeting with a career counselor? 2. What is David's major? 3. According to Ms. Evans, what are some potential career sectors for environmental science graduates? 4. What does Ms. Evans emphasize as important for career development? 5. What does Ms. Evans offer David at the end of the conversation?
We hope to have contributed to your studies. As a token of gratitude, you could please like this video, share it, and subscribe to our channel, as well as leave your comments in case of questions. Good luck, and see you soon.